So, got some good discoveries, actually. Besides the tears, because it's late. Got some cards that are apparently worth quite a lot. And a lot of cards that are worth something. So, that's good. Let me check out what these cards do real quick. I'm going to evaluate them from my zero knowledge standpoint of how Pokemon even works. I mean, so from what I heard, with Pokemon, your health or your lives like are your Pokemon. So your creatures also double as your health or life points, which is cool if that's right. I mean, if it's wrong, whatever. And the mana is in the form of energy, which I guess you draw like lands in Magic. I don't know. But okay, so literally like very close to zero knowledge about how this works. Let's see, Blaziken. So it has to evolve from Combusken, so it's got some setup there. I believe. I mean, from my imagination, you'd have to draw and play Combusken first, and then do something. Firestarter. Let's put it up here, and we can read it together. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, yours is backwards. Oh no. Oh well. I'll read it to you. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may attach a fire energy card from your discard pile to a benched Pokemon. Power can't be used if Blaziken is affected by a special condition. Okay, so I imagine that means something like this ramps you in the future. Like you gain fire energy to a benched Pokemon, and then perhaps the benched Pokemon can use it later? Sounds good. Probably can do that every turn. And then red, maybe this means anything. So 3 of that mana, deals 50, discard a fire, attach to Blaziken, does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So you can attack Pokemon that are not even in the fight, which seems good. 100 HP, sounds good. The only issue with all of these Pokemon is going to be what is their cost. You know, I don't know what this means, stage 2. Like you have to play and get rid of a stage 1 Pokemon first. No idea. Heracross. Final Blow. If its remaining HP is 20 or less, you may make its Mega Horn attack base damage 120. Okay, so it doubles this damage if the health is low. Oh, this is awful. Holy shit. Mega Horn. Flip a coin. If Tails' attack does nothing. I mean, the only way this could be good is if you could modify coin flips, which you might be able to. But if you can't, this is terrible. Okay. Charizard. Same idea. Shit. Flip a coin. If Tails' this attack does nothing. Okay. Flamethrower. Discard a fire energy card attached to Charizard. Plus, it costs 2 fire in a generic to deal 60. Yeah, I don't know. This seems very basic. It seems like it doesn't do very much. And it's a stage 2. I don't like it. Let's look at this Charizard. As often as you like during your turn. Okay, that's a very cumbersome way to word that, right? In Magic, there would just be an activated ability, and the intuition is that you can just do it over and over again. But okay. As often as you like during your turn, turn all energy attached to Charizard into fire for the rest of the turn. Oh. I don't really see why that matters, just energy becomes fire energy. And then with 4, you can discard 2 energy cards to deal 100. Seems like this is kind of like something you build up to, right? Putting these energy cards on Charizard, taking them off and dealing 100 damage. Of course, that won't kill a Pokemon like Charizard that has 120. So, I don't know. I don't see it being super good. Okay, Rocket Mewtwo. Juxtapose. Flip a coin. 0. Already 0. Flip a coin. If heads, switch the number of damage counters on this Pokemon with the number of damage counters on the defending Pokemon. See, I like doing this in WoW, again, with like damage switching. Doesn't really work in Magic because damage to creatures fades. In the cleanup step? In the end step? At some point. Okay. Hypnoblast for 2. Flip a coin. God damn it. If heads, the defending Pokemon is now asleep. Keyword asleep. No idea what that means. Maybe tap. And then Psyburn deals 60 with some cost. Yeah, lots of flip a coin, not the way. What about Dark Charmeleon? Okay, so again, stage 2. Tail Slap for 2, and then Fireball for 3. Use this attack only if there are any fire energy cards attached to Dark Charizard. Flip a coin. Oh my god. If heads, discard 1. If tails, this attack does nothing. Not even damage. Okay, that's surprising. Surprising that they had to word it that way, right? Not even damage. Like, this attack could do something other than damage. Not even damage, it says. Yeah, bad, right? Just bad with flipping a coin. And that's it. That's it for all the expensive cards. Not very good in decks, I would assume, although I could be very wrong. There are a lot of cards here. I could evaluate some of them. These are in the moderately expensive cards. Alright, let's look at Scythers. Sword Dance. During your next turn, this next attack is base damage 60 instead of 30. Sounds good. Especially if creatures have Summoning Sickness. I don't know if they do at all, but like playing it, activating this ability, and then next turn being able to attack, right? Of course, I'm using like Magic Brain, so I don't know. Typhlosion. This ability has too much text. Holy fuck. Once during your turn before you attack, count the total number of energy cards attached to all of your Pokemon and your opponent's Pokemon. If your opponent has more, search for a fire energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Shuffle. Can't be used as type. Okay, so this is kind of like a white ability in Magic. This is a catch-up mechanic. If your opponent has more energy attached to their Pokemon than you get one. Sounds really good. Of course, you would prefer to have this early and to keep doing it if your opponent is ramping, right? But this is a stage 2 Pokemon, meaning it might be too late at that point. I don't know. And then Super Surge. Flip a coin if heads, the defending Pokemon's buried. Come on, get out of here with flip a coin shit. Okay, another Typhlosion. Quick Attack. Flip a coin. You know what, I'm going to skip any flip a coin ability. They're awful. Okay, look, flip a coin. Jesus Christ. Flip a coin. This first ability looks like Ramp though, which is nice. Harvest Bounty. Again, it's a stage 2 though, right? You would really want Ramp to be early in the game, in my opinion. So let's see. Once during your turn, if you attach an energy card from your hand to your active Pokemon, you can attach another one. Yeah. So it's like whenever you play a land, right? Sounds very strong. Gengar. Chaos Move. Once during your turn, if your opponent has 3 or fewer prizes, you may move a damage counter from a Pokemon to another, even if it would knock out the other Pokemon. This power can't be used if Gengar is affected. Okay. So, no idea what a prize means, but the ability to switch damage from one Pokemon to another sounds really good. Seems like you can heal, right? So you can switch a damage counter from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is good. And also Gengar himself can be switched for 2 Psychic and anything, I think. Switch Gengar with any one of your bench Pokemon. Sounds strong. Light Azumarill. Flip a coin. Okay, not even gonna read that. If you have any benched Pokemon, flip a coin. Okay, get out of here. Get out. I already looked at Warp Point. Haunter. Flip a coin. But flip a coin to fog damage. That is really relevant. Flip a coin to fog damage is good. And immediately being able to put Pokemon to sleep for just a Psychic and anything. Defending Pokemon's now asleep. Sounds like this Pokemon is really annoying, right? right? It might just not die, 50% chance, and then keep sleeping your Pokemon. Sounds good. Sabrina's Haunter can do the same thing, but it costs... It's more restrictive. The cost is more restrictive, right? Although it does have more health. And the other ability is Flip a Coin. So, fuck that. The other Haunter sounded better. What about Dragonair? Flip 2 coins. Okay, it's an attack. Hyper Beam sounds good though. Discarding an energy card. I wonder if that's equivalent to like blowing up lands, making them discard their energy cards. Maybe it's like making them sacrifice treasures. It's more like, I don't know. Interesting. Sounds interesting. Tyranitar. All energy attached to Tyranitar is dark? Question mark? Metal? I don't know. Steel. Stamp. Flip a coin. Fuck you. Dude. If good Pokemon in this game have to flip coins, that must be the most irritating shit unless you can mitigate it really hard. I'm skipping that ability. I don't care about flipping coins. Dark Arbok. Choose an opponent's Pokemon. Takes 10 damage to that Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance. If that Pokemon has a power, the power stops working until the end of your opponent's next turn. Oh shit. So this can like silence. Or like remove, activated, triggered abilities. Activated and or triggered. Stare sounds really good. Poison Vapor. Defeating Pokemon is poisoned. 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, this sounds good. Again, I could be totally off base, but it sounds good. Mewtwo. Choose 2 energy cards from your discard pile and attach them to Mewtwo. Yeah, sounds good. Getting resources back from the graveyard. And Cyburn, whatever, just an attack. Ditto, yo! Pokemon Power, Henshin. If Ditto's your active Pokemon, treat it as if it were the same card type as the defending Pokemon, including type, hit points, weakness, and so on. Except Ditto can't evolve, always has this power. Nice, yeah. So this is literally just a clone of your opponent's creature. My worry with cards like this that are fairly costed is I'm not sure why you would ever play this card instead of just the card that you want to play, right? Like, why, base your deck around guessing what your opponent is going to give you, right? Like, if this could copy your own creature, that would be nice. But it doesn't. It only copies an opponent's creature. So it actually sounds bad. Unless, of course, this is very easy to play out, and your opponent plays some, like, stage 2 monstrosity, and you're like, oh, I'll have one of those, right? So maybe this card is okay. Alright, Mighty Yena. Seek out, search your deck for a card, put it in your hand. Fuck you. Literally just a tutor for one of any color. I don't know how good tutors are in Pokemon. In Magic, this is extremely strong. And it is a stage 2 Pokemon, so it does take a while to get, perhaps. But, yeah, no restrictions. And you don't have to show the opponent. Don't show them at all. Just search your deck for a card, into your hand, shuffle. Sounds really strong. You can just keep doing that. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, they discard until they have 4. So discard a card. Yeah, I mean, this card sounds good. 2 mana, discard a card. I mean, it's not a random card, right? This card would be really, really good if they had to discard a random card. But still, this sounds good. Okay, Gyarados. Dragon Spark. 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Whatever. I mean, maybe it's good, maybe it's a cheap cost. I'm not really sure. Full Retaliation. 20 damage times the number of damage counters on all Magikarp. Oh, is this like a meme deck? Or do you have like a ton of Magikarp and then a Gyarados and you deal with a ton of damage? I don't know. If the defending Pokemon already has at least 2 damage counters, it is 50 plus 50. Yeah, sure. So you start with Full Retaliation and then you Pulverize. Of course, you would need your Magikarp to be damaged first, right, for this to work. I wonder if you can counter this by your opponents just not attacking you. Dragonite. Tailwind. Once during your turn before you attack, if Dragonite's on your bench, reduce your active Pokemon's retreat cost to 0. Yeah, I mean, if you want to switch Pokemon. It is nice because this can be activated while Dragonite is not your active Pokemon, right? It's on your bench, apparently, so it's like perhaps one of your health cards. And you can just help out a Pokemon that's actually in play. That sounds really good, actually. Dragon Tail, flip coins, goodbye. Surfing Pikachu, surf. This is a meme, okay. I thought it was a meme, I was correct. Electrode, tackle, whatever. Chain Lightning. If the defending Pokemon isn't colorless, the attack does 10 damage to each bench Pokemon of the same type. I think that's bad. I mean, I'm not sure, but I assume that your opponent is not going to bring Pokemon all of the same type. It does say including your own, so if your Pokemon share the type, it would also deal damage to your Pokemon. So this just sounds really bad. Okay, Alakazam. Pokemon Power Damage Swap. Move a damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another as long as you don't knock it out. Interesting. That could be good. Of course, Alakazam has to be in play to do that. But perhaps you could move a counter from Alakazam to some other Pokemon you have in a bench with like a ton of health that doesn't do anything else. Sounds good. Confuse Ray, flip a coin. This card's useless. Alright, great. Kangaskhan. Fetch, draw a card. I like it. I like draw a card. I don't know if drawing cards is good in Pokemon, but generally drawing cards is very, very good in card games. So, 1 mana, draw a card. Yeah. You just keep doing it. Sounds very good. Comet Punch. Flip 4 coins. 20. Oh, god damn it. Flip 4 coins. What was I expecting? Was I expecting not to flip a coin? That was a mistake. Expect it. Alright, Kabutops. Awesome card here. Sharp Sickle, whatever. Absorb. Remove a number of damage counter from Kabutops equal to half the damage done to the defending Pokemon. If Kabutops has fewer, remove all of them. Okay, so this is a heal, or like a drain, right? I wonder how this effect actually works. So like you pay the 4, maybe, deals 40 damage, and then you get 20 points back? Or do you pay the 4, get half of the damage done to the defending Pokemon that was already on it, and then you deal 40? I assume the former, but I don't know. This looks like whatever. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't really understand these attacks that are just like 2 energy for 30 damage. It's just like thrown on the card. Okay, Dark Jolteon. Lightning Flash. If the defending Pokemon tries to attack during your opponent's next turn, your opponent flips a coin. If tails, they do nothing. Okay, I mean, look, coin flips on Fog is very good. If I could pay 1 to have a 50% chance to get a Fog, pretty strong. I hate coin flips, though. Thunder Attack. Flip a coin. Jesus, fuck. Dugtrio. Mudslap. Whatever. Magnitude. Does 10 damage to each bench Pokemon. Yours and the opponent's. Yeah, I don't like those symmetrical damage effects. Sounds bad, but maybe I'm wrong. Shock Blast. If this is your active Pokemon and it gets damaged, flip a coin. If Tails, does 20 damage to each active Pokemon. Sounds good. I mean, I don't like flipping a coin. I do like maybe a combo where you damage this Pokemon yourself. Like you keep dealing like small chip damage to yourself. Yeah. Of course, this has to be the active Pokemon. So if this is on the field and somehow you're able to deal damage to it. I don't know how. I mean, this Pokemon is able to deal damage to your own Pokemon, but this would have to be the active Pokemon. So I don't know. Alright, Powerball. Flip 3 coins. Get out of here. Leave me alone, coins. Light Dragonair. Remove a damage counter from each of your Pokemon that has damage counters. Yeah, I mean, sounds fine. Sounds good. Protective Wave. Another Fog, but for 3, and you need to flip a coin. That sounds bad. There were some fogs that cost 1. That's a fog that costs 3. I don't like it. Fortress. Pokemon Power Spikes. During your opponent's turn, whenever one of your opponent's bench Pokemon becomes active Pokemon, deals 10 damage. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. I don't know if it's possible, but I would really enjoy comboing this Pokemon with a Pokemon that forces your opponents to swap who is benched over and over again, so then Fortress would keep dealing damage. That would be cool. What's the other ability? Rapid Spin. If your opponent has benched Pokemon, choose one and switch it. Oh, there you go. And you do the same. Yeah. Oh, that's only during your opponent's turn the first ability triggers, though. That's a pain. So your opponent would kind of have to play into it. Like, you would swap, and they would have to want to swap back and take the damage. That's not good, as it is just set up on this card. You would need some combo. Light Flareon. Warm Up. If you have any bench Pokemon, search an energy card and attach to one. Yeah, sounds good. Burning Flame. Flip 2 coins. Goodbye. Ho-Oh. Rainbow Burn. 30 damage plus 10 for each type of basic energy card attached to Ho-Oh. So what? This is good in like a multicolor deck? In a deck with all the colors? But it's just flat damage. All this card can do is deal a ton of damage. I don't know. Grimer. Flip a coin. Goodbye. Charmeleon. Flip 2 coins. Fuck. And we're here. We're at the beginning. So we did it. I only saw like 50,000 cards that made you flip a coin. So, great. Maybe there are like 4 playable cards in there. Alright. That was that. It was a fun time. Next time, Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll see how slow I am at figuring out the prices of those cards. Alright. Good night.